Now let's talk about what President Biden has been up to. He's just wrapped up his visit to the Hawaiian island of Maui, where he's offered support following deadly wildfires. Nearly 2 weeks after the disaster, which killed at least 114 people, he's named a federal response coordinator and says the island's critical infrastructure will be made more resilient. Our North America correspondent Peter Bowes reports.
Almost 2 weeks after wildfires swept through this Hawaiian island, a scene of utter devastation to greet the president. After a helicopter tour of the burned-out areas, Mr. Biden and the First Lady were introduced to some of the victims and saw for themselves what's left of the old city of Lahaina. The president has been criticised for his and the federal government's response to the disaster, with some local people saying it had been inadequate and uncoordinated. But Mr. Biden appeared to be visibly moved by the scale of the tragedy and promised long-term support for the island.
We're focused on what's next. That's rebuilding the long-term, rebuilding for long-term, and doing it together to help get us back on our feet, to rebuild the way we want to rebuild, by making sure your voices are heard, by respecting your traditions, by understanding the deep history and meaning of this sacred ground, and establishing your community not to change its character, but re-establish it.
The president was speaking near a historic banyan tree, which was damaged but survived the fires.
Today is burned, but it's still standing. The tree survived for a reason. I believe it's a very powerful symbol of what we can and will do to get through this crisis. And for as long as it takes, we're going to be with you. The whole country will be with you.
This was a visit for hugs, empathy and a promise not to forget. But for this island, there's a long road to recovery ahead. The Hawaiian authorities have said it could be months, even years, before the remains of all the victims are identified, and 850 people are still unaccounted for. Peter Bowes, BBC News.